Welcome to Minute in the Word and our midweek update for Our Savior Lutheran Platte City and Smithville. The Lord's richest blessings to you as we're still in the Lenten season, but we're coming very close to Easter and Good Friday. And a lot of things going on. Hoping they continue to go, but for my portion, I'm kind of eager for Easter to get here for that celebration, and then maybe after May, things will slow down a little bit, but every day there's something to do, especially in Ever Remember Ministry. So the first thing I've got is, again, from last week, ushers, acolytes, greeters, offering, especially for the kids, helping with the offerings. If you've been doing that in the past, pre-COVID, and you want to do that, please let the office or an elder or Mary or Susan, depending on what campus you're on, know. We don't always know who to ask on Sunday morning. It's better if we have a list of names, and then also that you've had the training so that you don't smash the wicks, or you know how to pass the offering or how to usher for communion, those type of things. I know it looks really simple, but if we don't do it in a certain order in a certain way, then that makes our service get really long. And so there's training that goes along with it, but it's Every Member Ministry. Please be involved in edifying and building up the worship of our congregation. Also, we're doing Easter egg hunt on Easter, and encourage you to be involved in that or bring your kids for that. Doing it on both campuses. I think they're still taking donations on the on Easter morning as well. We're doing a breakfast, if you will, in Smithville, and so come and be involved with that. There's a bake sale going on as well. And then we have the prayer vigil on Good Friday just before Easter. So if you haven't gotten that link or seen the actual sign-ups in the North Exodus in both campuses, please sign up for that. Spend 30 minutes praying on Good Friday. And then we're reviving Sunday school. See Keith or Mary or Susan on that. For our kids, we're not sure how we're going to do that because it kind of faded out. Even pre-COVID, it was fading out because of involvement. But Every Member Ministry, if we want Sunday school, it's got to be done by members. It just can't be boom and it happens. And if we want more people to come and visit and stay, they're going to want some kind of Sunday school on Sunday morning for their kids. But then at the same time, not everybody uses it. They just come to worship, which I think we need both, because it's worship, yeah, but then we need to educate ourselves, and adults need it as well. And we're still looking at it on Sunday morning, A Case for Christ. So I encourage you to come and do that. I'm still looking at doing an adult confirmation class. I've had several respond, so we're kind of looking at a Tuesday night. I'm not sure when I'm going to start it or what times, so keep praying about that. Youth confirmation is on the 10th, now Palm Sunday, with First Communion being Maundy, Thursday. And then I think most of you know, but if you don't know, Pastor Wolfmueller is coming on the 12th of May. Save the date for that, and go out, if you haven't seen the advertisement yet, go out and look at his YouTube pages and look at some of his stuff. I think it really applies to us and how we live in our world today as Christians, especially Lutheran Christians. Also then, Every Member Ministry, focusing on Ephesians 4:12. We have the whiteboards in both campuses, and they're filling up. Hopefully in the announcements you'll also see a picture of it, perhaps, or a list of some kind, so you get to see what other people are doing, and I'm sure you're doing some of the same things. And then, just as we've always been saying, is if you see a need, then you've heard the call. So think about it, pray about it, and then get with Susan or Mary, the congregational support coordinators for our campuses, okay, and make it happen. They'll work with you. They'll turn you loose. They'll communicate. They'll do those things so that they can happen. And whether it's youth-led or adult-led, or whether it's singles or groups, or whether it's a Bible study. We have a new Bible study for women, a new life group starting up April 28th. And it's Be Still and Know. It's primarily it's for women, but nonetheless, that was a need. She heard the call, and she's doing it. You can do the same thing. if you want to have a parenting class, or if you want to have a canning class, or I say canning, not caning, okay? So if you want to do something like that and you see the need, you've heard the call. Let's make it happen. All right, so those are the announcements. Just a heads up as far as upcoming themes. The theme for tonight is slothfulness in Smithville on our 7 deadly sins, and gluttony in Platte City on our Wednesday night services. Next Wednesday, it's anger in Smithville and greed in Platte City. And the theme for the 27th for live worship is what are you doing with the message? And then for the 3rd of April, it's do you really want to know? Off of Philippians 3:10. So as you can see, there are a lot of things going on. There's a lot of other things going on too. I mean, I didn't mention lilies. I think they purchased them by now, but I mean, we're doing lilies, and we're doing all kinds of different things in our celebration of Holy Week. And there's a bunch of things going on in May as well. And plus we've got, looking at the event center, we're focusing on offerings and tithes and different way to manage the congregational finances, and yet we still have the CAB, our council that's meeting, our elders that are meeting, our school board that's meeting, our finance committee that's meeting, and our facilities committee that's meeting. And a whole bunch of other things around that are all happening, and they all need your support. If nothing else, they need your prayers. So pray for involvement, pray for people, pray for our world situation, pray for whatever's upon your heart, and then sign up for the prayer vigil. All right, so the psalm assigned for the 27th is Psalm 32. And as we look at every member ministry, and as we look at what are you doing with the message, and the message is the message of reconciliation for this Sunday's sermon, Psalm 32 tells us what that message is. I mean, it comes across very loud and clear. And for those of us who are struggling with our unworthiness during Lent, or because of the bad weather, or because of darkness in our lives, or inflation, or whatever's going on, to me, Psalm 32 speaks pretty loudly. So I want to read through it with you. This is the ESV. And so if you want to follow along, you can pause the announcements and go look it up, either on your phone, your computer, or if you want to do it the old-fashioned way, you can get a Bible. I've got a large print, so I can read it. All right. Blessed is the one whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. You and me, we're blessed. Blessed is the man against whom the Lord counts no iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no deceit. It's pretty awesome. That's a feeling we have because of what Jesus has done, not because of who we are. For when I kept silent, my bones wasted away through my groaning all day long. For day and night your hand was heavy upon me. My strength was dried up as by the heat of summer. There's a lot of times when we have this craving and we don't know what it is. We just, and that's usually the law and the Lord talking to us, trying to get us to see the window or the door He wants us to go through as He leads us and works good in all things in our lives. Unfortunately, oftentimes we'll focus more on work, or we'll be guilt motivated, which is a short-term solution, or we'll focus on an addiction, or one of the 7 deadly sins that we've been looking at in Lent. And that just makes it worse. But then it says, I acknowledged my sin to you, and I did not cover my iniquity. And I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the iniquity of my sin. See, we need to acknowledge, as I said with envy last night, or the other night when I was doing that sermon on the 7 deadly sins, one of the first things for envy is for us to acknowledge that we're sinners, to acknowledge that we covet, and to acknowledge that we have envy. And once we've done that and we've confessed that sin, then we can move forward. Therefore, let everyone who is godly offer prayer to you at a time when you may be found. At times right now, we should be praying. Surely in the rush of great waters they shall not reach him. You are a hiding place for me. You preserve me from trouble. You surround me with shouts of deliverance. God preserves us. He surrounds us with others. I will instruct you and teach you in the way that you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. Be not like a horse or a mule without understanding. So God's going to instruct us. He's going to teach us. Okay, we shouldn't just wander around, be tossed around by doctrinal teachings or the ways of the world being taught as facts when they're not, or any of that kind of stuff. We should be in God's Word, learning and growing and becoming more mature and building up the church, which must be curbed with bit and bridle, or it will not stay near you. So that's that mule horse. It needs to be guided. Otherwise, when it goes off and does on its own, it can get hurt. Many are the sorrows of the wicked, but steadfast love surrounds the one who trusts in the Lord. Trust in the Lord, no matter what's going on in life. Be glad in the Lord and rejoice, O righteous, and shout for joy, all you upright in heart. My dear friends, the Lord's blessings upon you. You have been redeemed. You have been forgiven. Salvation is yours because Jesus died upon the cross, rose again, and ascended to sit at the right hand of God the Father Almighty. He has called us by name. God bless you.